Hello, everybody. I'm here with Tom Klubek today, our general manager. Say hi, Tom.
Hi, everybody.
We are going to be going through his role here. He's going to give a little bit of industry insights, and we're going to talk about promo today. And if you are looking for any other information about our company, or if you're looking for promo, visit our website at promotionalimages.com. So Tom, I'm here with Tom, and Tom, tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, what position you are at the company, just a little history.
First of all, Tom Klubek, welcome everybody to our podcast. Happy that you're here. Tom Klubek, been married to my wife for 40 years, so proud husband, two wonderful boys, one who actually works for us here at the company, proud grandfather of three wonderful grandchildren. So those are the proudest moments of my life. Been with the company just over 28 years now. Only had two major jobs in my life. One was in the banking world, where I was a branch manager, assistant vice president for a company that used to be called Fleet Bank, which is now Bank of America, and called on this company here to get their banking business, and they turned it around on me to join the company. And again, it's been a wonderful, wonderful 28 years, changed my life, met wonderful people, and have really created a new family for myself between my employees and my clients.
Yeah, so you've been here, 28 years, like you said, and you've dealt with many clients over the years and stuff like that. So you've done a lot of sales and everything like that. What are some successes that you've found in doing, in the promotional industry? What successes have you found?
I think the biggest thing that is repetitive in our industry is we have a company motto: do what you say you're going to do, and it's all about doing right by the client, doing right by your suppliers, doing right by your employees. And in any situation that I've been in, creativity counts. You've got to come up with the right product, the right budget, the right fit for your client. But ultimately, we're not in an Amazon world. Once you put a logo on something, there's a whole nother level of operation that goes into that, which makes precarious situations a little funny, because you have event dates you have to hit, you have locations you have to hit, you have drop ships you have to hit, and you're dealing in many cases with outside sources and outside suppliers. So the challenges come with you're making commitments, but you're making commitments on behalf of not only your company but on subcontractors to make those dates. And I think that the biggest lesson I've learned is the consistency with doing the right thing and making sure that your staff and your operations team is on top of those orders so that they don't disappoint the clients. And the successes that I've had, even the ones that maybe didn't go as perfectly as we could have, but the way we've handled them, and then we've either replaced the product or did right by the client, always came back in spades to help us along down the road with the clients and establish and grow that relationship.
So tell me a little about the promotional industry. Try to explain it like you're explaining to somebody who doesn't know about the promotional industry.
So it's certainly a marketing piece that companies use to advance their brands. But what's great about the promotional products industry is it's very personal. So when you're talking about billboards, you're talking about commercials, or you're talking about social media, you're looking for views or you're looking for clicks, and you're hoping that somebody comes across something. When you give a promotional product to a potential client or to a teammate or to an employee, that's a personal piece. They're going to either wear that. That's going to be in their drawer, or it's going to be in their kitchen drawer, or it's going to be in their car, or it's going to be on their shelf as a proud award. It's something that they own, and it's a very close relationship to that product. So you get to own the client a little bit more. The effectiveness of the promotional product actually is greater than the views that you see in all those other mediums. So it's a wonderful industry. It's very personal. You can establish really close one-on-one relationships with those things. How often do you get somebody reaching out and saying, talking about that one commercial, maybe during the Super Bowl, maybe something else? It's just something that you see. Yeah. But how often when you give a product out, somebody says, oh my God, I use that all the time, or I have that in my car, and I have that umbrella. I was at my son's game and I saw your brand on that umbrella. That's a very important thing, and that's really the difference between what we do and compared to the other mediums that are out there.
So, you're talking about how you've done a ton of sales over the years. What kind of I guess, category of products have you kind of found the best success in?
I think apparel is very personal. I think that drives promotional product sales. Drinkware, because everybody, no matter what one particular piece you have, there's always another piece that you'll need. Well, I need that ceramic mug, but oh, now I'm going to be in the car. So I need that vacuum insulated thing. And now I'm running. So I need the bottle that I can hold when I'm running. So drinkware is very good. Pens, writing instruments, obviously. You go through pens like you wouldn't believe. Deskwear items are very important. But again, things that I like are the things that people will use again and again and again. So kitchen pieces, things that you use in your house, things that you use in your car. Very effective, because every time you go in that car, every time you look in your drink holder, maybe there's a car coaster in there, or there's a piece that holds your cell phone, all with the brand that you're trying to get views on. And that's a very personal thing, and I think those work the best.
So you were talking about how before this you were in baking. Kind of how does, coming from banking over here, like what kind of carried over and what also kind of differed?
Well, I think for me, process. The thing that I'll take from my banking career is the process and the operation. So worked for Fortune 500 firm, much different than the size company we are now, but learning the process and the individual personalities. When you're putting a team of people together, it's not all, we have this one superstar, all 20 superstars in the company. It's the unique skill sets. It's kind of like the football team that's got an offensive line, it's got a running back, it's got a wide receiver. That's what we have. You have to have niche personalities, niche specialties that make this thing flow. And then just putting those personalities together and making it work, that's something that's carried over from my past branch management experience. What's different is certainly the creativity. Before it was numbers. The numbers always came out to a certain thing. The creativity is, if somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a hat, it's wonderful. There's 5,000 different kinds of hats I can show you. So really understanding the needs of the person and the product and the color scheme and the event and the space and where's it going to be held at, coming up with those creative ideas to match their needs is what's different than my past career.
You met our president, John, because you were trying to get his banking business. Is that correct? So tell me the little story on, take me through that day of what happened and everything like that.
So the way I got to know John is through a client of mine at the bank who had a small business of his own prior to joining John. And then he became a salesperson for this company and saw he was very happy and would talk about opportunities with this company. And I really interpreted those opportunities as a way to get their banking business. Took a while to actually call on John, but I came to the office and after about 10, 15 minutes of me doing my spiel on the bank, John turned it around pretty quickly and said, listen, I'm not leaving banks, but I am looking for somebody to help run my company for me. And it was kind of funny because the standing joke is, obviously I'm here, so we know who the better salesperson is, and that's John. So it was the best decision of my life, and I'm glad we came across each other's paths.
That's cool. That's very cool. And then, so over the years, you've kind of had the opportunity, I guess, to work with a bunch of your family members as well. You have what?
That's
your
right.
son, your mother, and your sister here. Kind of tell me about that. How is it working with them? How did that come?
Well, you know what? It wasn't a plan when I started here. When I first started here, we have, and we still have, our embroidery production department. And we went through a couple of production supervisors. And the biggest thing for us, again, is we could teach that job, but it's the matter of what kind of a worker are you? Can we gain your trust? To do what you say you're going to do is very, very big. And when we went through our second production supervisor, John, not long before that, met my sister Michelle, who was working at Wegmans at the time. And she's very crafty and handy, and although didn't have the experience that we needed for that job, she had everything else that was built in there. So John actually was the one that approached me and said, we haven't had luck over these last couple. Why don't we give her a shot and see what she can do? And Michelle's been with us over 20 years now too, which is great. The mom, and before my father passed, he actually helped also. That was, again, a situation out of need. So the work in our embroidery department ebbs and flows. And so there's times where we're overwhelmed and we need an extra pair of hands, but we may need that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden we might not need it for another 2 or 3 weeks. So to find somebody who you can say, hey, come in when we need you, but there might be a month we don't. Are you good with that? Is very hard to find. And both my parents were retired, and they came in and started working in our embroidery department. And what we found is not only did the flexibility work for us, but the work ethic was second to none. And they cared about it. And to this day, 20 years later, 25 years later, my mom, who's been filling in for all those years, continues to work for us. And I can't find a worker, and she's 83 now, that really can keep pace with her for the job she does. So very proud of her. And then lastly, my son Matthew had a good career going with travel and leisure, but was really kind of stuck on more of an inside systems related role. And if you met Matthew, he's got a wonderful, wonderful personality and really is good one-on-one with people. And we had a need for a sales position. And so we bandied it about back and forth and really thought about where was his career going there compared to where it might go here. And he took the jump, and it was all his decision. I gave him the opportunity, but did not force him into it. And he's been with us just under a year now. He's doing a great job.
And then lastly, kind of just give me a little rundown of, the culture of this company, and how you've created the culture over the years. You've been here for 28 years. Tell me about how you kind of created that culture and how this small company has survived over the years and it's growing.
I think when we try to put something together, you have to trust the people you're with, right? I mean, we all get along, we all have different roles, but we're all interlinked because I could go out and sell something, but if my CSR doesn't get it delivered, I don't look very good. Or if my finance team doesn't bill it the right way or invoice it the right way, I'm not looking good. Or my embroidery team or my graphics team, if they're not putting together the right art or the right logos, it'll disappoint our clients. So we're very interconnected. So trust is very big. So when you come into our company, there's certainly different personality types, but trust is the number one thing. The honesty and integrity is very big for our company. Certainly you have to bring a skill set and you have to bring a talent level to really survive in our company. But we're very social. We're a very social company. When we come into the office, we're not the Gestapo. We're not looking over your shoulder. We really depend on each person to run with the job that they have. I go back to comments that Marv Levy used to be the Buffalo Bills head coach. He would talk about the locker room and getting people ready for a game. And he would say, if I've got to be a motivator in the locker room and if I've got to give the rah-rah speech to get you excited, then I've got the wrong people in the room. So we're looking for people that are self-motivated, honest, creative, get along well with others, and it's a very interconnected office. And you either really do well here or you don't, and it's not right or wrong. It's just the way we work, and we've been blessed to find people over the years that really fit that mold.
So now I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Some are just completely random, some are towards the industry a little bit, and then others are just, whatever you prefer. So the first one I'm going to ask you is, are you a morning person or are you an afternoon person?
Morning person.
Oh, you're a morning person?
Yeah, I would actually say I'm probably both, but I really get going in the morning and last through the afternoon.
You get your coffee and everything? There you go. All right, so and then, we're a hybrid office. Are you more work from home or are you in the office type person?
Definitely another 50-50. Love being with our people. There's a lot that happens in this office where when you're just passing somebody by, you learn things, you understand things, you get more of a sense of what's going on. In my role as the general manager, manage the people, so it's important that I'm with them. But I also have a sales responsibility. I do manage a couple of our larger accounts, and there's times where I just need alone time. I need time where I can just focus on what I need to get done for our clients, and that's really important to get done at home.
Favorite promo product? Doesn't have to be a generic one, or it can just be, a really obscure one. Anything that you've kind of seen? I mean, you just went to the PPAI Expo.
Yeah, that's a good question. I really don't have a niche product, funny enough. What happens in our industry is we're not product driven as far as I'm going to take this product and I'm going to sell it to my masses. We're always trying to find a fit for our client. So because I've been doing this for so long, I don't think I've ever fallen in love with one particular thing. The wearables are always great and the branded apparel is wonderful because I use it myself. But I've never gotten to the mindset of I get stuck with one particular category because a client could come over and be like, okay, I've been dealing with you for 20 years and you keep showing me this niche. I've got to sort of keep my mind open for that. So I really haven't stuck myself with one particular product.
So our company's from Buffalo, and so I got to ask, are you more of a Bills fan or a Sabres fan?
Definitely Bills,
Okay,
although the Sabres aren't far behind. Yeah, I think when you're in our area, it's born and bred into you, and it defines who you are. We have a saying in our office, again, which follows a Marv Levy comment, which is, where would you rather be than right here, right now? And the team that we have, I think, reflects our office. You know, Josh Allen is our leader and our quarterback, and he's also one of the guys, right? He brings the team together, and he's not above anybody else. And I hope that I manage that way, where I'm part of the team, and we all have different roles. Hopefully, I can lead people to success by showing what I'm doing, not only telling what I'm doing. So that's how it works for us.
All right. Also, I got to ask, favorite wings?
Favorite wings, barbell. Barbell, Cajun medium.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
You got that down.
Yeah.
I like that. And then last question. I know you travel to Florida a lot, but what do you like better? Do you like the warm weather or the cold weather?
I'm a warm weather guy. I'm born and raised in Buffalo. Love the area, love the people. Never became a huge winter sports guy outside of hockey, which my grandson plays. You can kind of play that anywhere. I skied once in my life. Certainly growing up, loved building forts and sledding and that. But I think my skin is getting a little thinner as I get older. And these past few weeks that we've had here in Buffalo with single-digit temperatures and nonstop snow, I think it's trying my patience, I would say.
Definitely. Is there any other additional things that you want to say or anything like that?
Yeah, thanks to our president and CEO, John Conley. He's been the guiding force for all of us. He's the one who established the integrity and the do-what-you-say attitude that this office aspires to every single day. He's been our leader. He's a force in our community, and he's had a band that he's been with for 40 years, a couple of different bands, Buffalo Music Hall of Fame, and no air about him, and he does things the right way. His integrity is beyond reproach, and I really wouldn't be here for him. I've learned so much in how I lead and how I take care of my clients and how to represent the people in our office every day because of him, and truly just want to give a shout out to John for helping me with this career that I love and hope to continue.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tom, for giving me your time today and letting me kind of hear your story a little bit. So I really appreciate that. This is the first episode of the Promotional Images Podcast, and stay tuned for episode number 2. So
thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.